Do you have a feeling that everyone around you is a content creator, a blogger, or an influencer? True so, because this is definitely one of the easiest options when it comes to a job entry. The field is definitely highly competitive, and the question is, how do you actually stand out? Hi, my name is Alisa, I am a social media expert and I offer UGC 360 services. So on the one hand, I help people to become content creators and to make it to their income and to their maybe full-time job. And on the other hand, I also help brands to implement UGC or customer testimonials as a part of their marketing strategy. So I have a very long experience in social media and I've worked as a blogger myself, but also on the company side. I've noticed that the question that people always ask is, how do you actually stand out on social media? Because everyone can easily create an account, but how do you actually get clients? How do you get brand deals? How do you work with cool companies if there are thousands of people who can also do that? So in this video we are specifically going to talk about this topic, because for me, personal branding, or the topic of this video, is one of the basic things that you need to understand in order to be successful on social media. It doesn't matter if you want to be a content creator, if you want to be a lawyer who promotes the services on social media. So we are going to talk about personal branding 101. So what is personal branding? I will also share with you my strategy, how I would go about personal branding if I needed to start from the scratch, and how do you actually align personal branding with social media. So how do these two things interact with each other? And yeah, this is what we are going to talk about this video. So let's start. So what is a personal brand? Firstly, everyone has some kind of an expertise. Maybe you are really good at dancing, maybe you are really good at writing, or maybe you can easily get people around you, so you are a great team builder. And this expertise is what makes us unique. This is what we get through our education, through our work experience, through maybe reading books or listening to podcasts or watching some educational programs. So this is the first important part of personal brand, the expertise. Then of course we also have the experience. How long do we do what we do? Which challenges did we overcome? What was our path and why did we start it? So our experience is also something very unique to us, because there is no other person in the world who has exactly gone through the same steps as you did. So experience is also part of our personal brand. And finally, we also have the personality. So maybe you are more introverted, more calm, and you are talking in a very calm manner, or maybe you are very extroverted, you like to take space, and you are more of I don't know, if public speaker vibe. When all of these three categories, so expertise, experience, and personality, align together, then we get this triangle of a personal brand. Personal brand is basically what people recognize you for. Let's take an example. So maybe there is a lawyer. So his expertise is teenager crime, and people will hire him because of his expertise. There is another lawyer who has 20 years of experience and really great records. Finally, there is the third lawyer who is a master of persuasion, and he always wins the speakings where there is a jury, because he can persuade them and influence them to make the decision in his favor. Then imagine that you have a lawyer who is firstly an expert in teen crime with a great experience, but also he is a great public speaker, he's great in persuasion, people are very empathic towards him. Then this is the perfect combo that you can imagine if you maybe need a defender in this particular field. And the personal brand is of course the particular parts or singular parts of it, but you manage to present your expertise, your experience, and your personality all together, then you will be basically unbeatable. So it's like a superpower of you. This is why I always think that personal branding is actually one of the first steps you need to do before you start your like true social media journey. So of course there are people who just basically like to post content on social media. They like to share their photos, videos with their friends, their family. Totally fine. But if you take social media seriously, if you want to make money with it, if you want to get more clients, so basically if you have any like goals with social media, then personal branding is something you need to consider. Personal brand is not just about what is true to you, but also about how do you present it into the world, because you can always filter which parts of your personality, which parts of your expertise and experience you want to actually present. So as we kind of got an understanding of what personal branding is, let's talk about how to actually create a personal brand, how to build a personal brand. Because I know that a lot of people actually struggle with it because they think that personal branding is something that only really professional people out there need, but actually it's what everyone needs if he or she wants to stand out. So just imagine how many content creators write a brand about a collaboration every single day. There's probably like thousands of them depending on the brand size. And then why will the brand choose to work specifically with you is because of your personal brand. So if I would start creating my personal brand from scratch today, this is how I would do that. Firstly, I would start with a self-reflection. So I would maybe take a journal or something to write in, and I would ask myself 3 questions. What are my expertise, experience, and personality? So the personal branding triangle. Secondly, how do I want the world to perceive me? How do I want the world to see me? So how do I want to show myself up in this world? And finally, what is my main goal? So what do I want to achieve with my personal brand? Secondly, when I understand how my personal brand looks like, I'm thinking about the social media strategy that aligns with it, because every single social media platform has a different audience. So you target different audiences on TikTok than you do on YouTube, than you do on Instagram. Of course, there are also different tools to these platforms. For example, LinkedIn is a platform where you write texts or you maybe create PDFs, and this is way different than when you create TikTok videos. So you definitely need to understand that you don't need to be present on every single platform in order to have a successful personal brand. You rather need to understand which platforms actually align with your personal brand. So if you're a person who really likes to talk, then maybe creating videos or podcasts will be better than writing text. And on the other hand, if you are someone who is really good at writing, then maybe something like LinkedIn or some kind of a blog post will be really good for you. So this is why it's important to understand this, like, again, interaction between the personal branding and social media. So afterwards, I would definitely focus on creating the content that aligns with my strategy, but also aligns with my personal branding. I truly believe that a personal brand is much more than just creating like a perfect image that you want to present in the world, because people want to see people. People come to social media because this is a place where they can communicate with other people, where they can get inspired, motivated, entertained. So, for example, on Instagram, I always like to post my dancing videos because this is a big part of my personality. I'm a person who can basically stand up and dance everywhere if I have the right music. So this is a part of my personality, and hence this is also a part of my personal brand. So I don't think that personal brand is about perfection. It's definitely about being relevant, but also being authentic. And finally, what is probably one of the biggest struggling points when it comes to personal brand is that people think it's about creating this like branding. So branding can be, for example, a package of your favorite muesli box. So there are different brands and they all have different packages, and this is branding. But branding is also, for example, specific colors, specific fonts, specific visuals that a brand has. And I truly believe that you do not need to do this in the first step. So it's quite difficult. You need to think about it a lot because every single color has its own kind of meaning and connotation. For example, red is more like aggressive and violet is more calm. So when you really start thinking about it, then you need to think about which messages do I transport with the color, with the font, and it's just too complicated for the beginning. So do not even start digging into this hole if you do not need it, right? So people will come to you if your content is great, so if your personal branding is great, and not because your packaging is like, I don't know, super well thought out. So let's have a little recap. Personal brand is the triangle of an expertise, experience and personality. And in order to align this triangle with your social media strategy, you need to firstly think about what is your personal brand, and then think about which platforms do you align with like your personal brand. And finally, you create content that suits the social media platforms, but also suits your personal brand. And this is how I would start building my personal brand if I needed to do that from scratch. Well, that was it for this video. I definitely think that there are gonna be more videos about personal branding, because I think this is one of the crucial topics when it comes to social media, but also basically in life. It's very important how we position ourselves, how we show up, how we show ourselves, how we show our uniqueness. And this is why I would definitely make more videos about it. But if you have a specific question, then do not hesitate to write it in comments. And of course, give this video a like and follow me, follow my channel, and we will see each other in the next one. Bye!